Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, there's a few things that I wanted to look at, one of which is being those swap tickets that we get for S level to S level, A level to A level. I want to show you guys where we get them and how I believe them to work based on their wording, which I am 99.9% sure I am correct, and we will go through all of that. The first thing though, and then I also do want to jump in and show you guys some gameplay of Sinbad and Nara so you can get a look, because we just went through their skills in that previous video that we covered them, which I'll leave that video in the description if you want to go through their actual skills and stuff like that, but I'll just more show you the guys them in combat. But the first thing I do want to look at is this, which is really promising to me. I know this may sound stupid, but it's one of those things that actually gets me kind of excited. So thank you. Like, this is over on the what do they call it? The Pioneer server, which is meant to be a test server to test things. And thank you for all your feedback. After internal discussion, we've decided to lower the same faction hero requirement for activating seasoned faction talents from 4 to 3. I'm going to do more on faction talents once we get it on the test server and stuff like that as we progress through, and I'll have you guys more stuff on the faction talents by the time it comes to global with, you know, ideal format, ideal paths and stuff like that. There is just a lot to go through, and there's a lot to make content on at the moment, but I will get back to you guys more with that. But the big thing to note is that people were having an issue with having to have 4 of the same faction just to get a bonus, which is kind of annoying in some situations. So they've received that feedback and they have changed it. I just thought that was good. That's what test servers are meant to be for, and that's why I'm happy that they're actually optimizing things based on the feedback this early on into it. And I just think that's a good sign for the game moving forward to be able to optimize these sorts of things, because at the end of the day, you know, it's not the most major thing, but it is something that's going to affect the way you feel about the new systems in the game. So I think that is a good sign. Now, the next thing I want to go to is, like I said, those swap systems. Now, I showed you guys this one, and I went through how this, you know, you get a bunch of summons and stuff through this thing, but there are 2 key things that you also get in here that are very important. The first one being, if we go over to this one, you can see Season A level swap. Used to swap a hero tier and the levels of exclusive equipment, hero focused and enhanced force between 2 heroes. This item can only be used on A level heroes released during the Waves of Intrigue season. So that comes back to my first bit. I don't think you're going to be able to like swap your Odie for a Sinbad. It's going to be, if you summon Sinbad, you'll be able to swap him for another A level later on in the season. I think these things are fantastic and a great system. If we go on to the next one over here, once again, this is the S level swap. Used to swap the hero tier and the hero levels and levels of exclusive equipment, hero focus, enhanced force between 2 heroes. This item can only be used on S level heroes, excluding Celestial Hypergenes. So my understanding on this is, even if we get Old Mate Dunlinger and then we get a new Hypergene later on, you can't swap those. This is only for non-Celestial Hypergenes. So you're not going to be swapping any Celestial Hypergenes, even if they're released in the same season. But once again, the S levels that you do swap have to be released in the Waves of Intrigue. So once again, let's say Nara is an S level, and then we get Hodgkin, who's an S level. That is the one that you will be able to swap. I think this is something fantastic. Now, I anticipate that we will only get 1 of each of these throughout the season. I don't think they're going to give us more. I could be wrong on this take, but once again, I you know, it's quite a good system, and I don't think they're going to give you a ton, because then you just don't really need to summon for anything. You just keep swapping to the new meta. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but that is what they are. So looking at this one, for instance, like I said, whether it be Nara and Hodgkin if he's an S level, whether it be Sonya if she's an S level, that is what this function is going to be. And to unlock them, you've got to do this path. Now, a bunch of these trials are in Chinese still. If we go here, you can see that there's cumulative login, season recruitment, season token, velvet voucher. Honestly, I think this is the kind of thing you will get through completely. I don't think there's a way you don't, because if we look at it, one of the season artifacts is tied into 2,500, and you only need to get to 3,000. No, where is it? 2,750 to get this. So I think it's something you will do. Now, if we look at time frame, I'm not sure on free to play, but you can see our weekly limit is 750 points. Based on that, 2 weeks is going to be 1,500 points at your limit. And then if we go past that, 2,250, which is the A level swap, is at 3 weeks. weeks, and then your 3,000 is at your 4 weeks. Now, whether you reach that cap we have to wait and see, especially as free to play, or whether you've got to, spenders and then free to play take a bit longer. But I do think everyone will get there. And the most important thing for this is it seems like we could get there pretty quick, so that even if you do pull Nara, you might have it there for the next S level that comes out. Same with Sinbad, you could have it ready for the next A level. So once again, it's all a bit sketchy here at the moment on exact income, but it is looking pretty solid that we will be able to get them. And I don't think anyone's going to miss out on them if you're playing from the start of the season, because like I said, they're not going to make a system where free-to-play can't get all of the season artifacts. It just doesn't make sense. Now, as we move on past that, we do have this chest. Now, I ran the translation on it. Basically, every 300 points you get past 3,000, you'll be able to open a chest. It doesn't actually say in the translation what's in the chest, so I'm not too sure. But like I said, this is a good system to go ahead and get us the swaps. I think the swaps are a fantastic thing, and I love that they are implementing this kind of system. Really does have massive amounts of alleviation for the systems in the game currently. So that is that one that I wanted to go through. Now let's bounce into a little bit of combat, and I just want to show you Nara and Sinbad. We're not going to go too deep into them, but I just want to show you guys their base mechanics and how they work. So we'll start with Nara. So Nara, as you can see, when we place her in the battlefield, it tells you which enemy she is going to grapple at the start. Keeping in mind, her grapple has a 0 initial cooldown. So she is going to use it at the very start. Past that, I believe it's 4 seconds. So if she kills them within 4 seconds, you kind of got to wait. So that's what we're looking at with her grapple. Keeping in mind, she will grapple straight into kicking their legs out and controlling them, which is fantastic. Obviously, then she wants to do her execute as fast as possible, and away you go. Now, best teams for her, I haven't really experimented too much to find what I think would be the best team. I'm just going to slap some heroes that I actually have built with their exclusive equipment. You can see I haven't done too many because it's just an absolute nightmare to invest in. We'll leave Sinbad out of this one and put him in the next one. I'm not too sure. Now, it may seem counterintuitive to use her and Odie because they both have the execute factor, but if you think about like the way we do in PvP, where we use Rainier to swap an enemy towards us so that we can execute them with Odie, it's the same principle, except she's going to keep doing it. And the big note with Nara is, because she's going to target the enemy with her grapple, that it closely mirrors her position. If you have these melee enemies fighting at melee with my tank, it then means the next ranged unit is probably going to be the one closest mirroring her position, because they're further back and she is further back, which means you're going to be able to like chew through the back row. And I just want to show you guys this. Obviously, team's not complete or proper, but you can see that she's going to grapple that enemy. Cool. We're going to get them low. Okay. We got to. We've actually got to put a team together. Okay, my bad. My bad. All right, so unfortunately these guys don't have their exclusive equipments built up, but let's go in and let's do. Where are you? Let's go you. And then I'm just going to put a Brutus in to do extra distraction, just so we can watch what the Odie. It'd be good if I had the Odie's exclusive equipment upgraded, but you'll get the idea. So we're going to go in here. She's going to execute. Unfortunately, didn't land the kill. And unfortunately, Odie did that too quick. But you can see now the next enemy gets grappled into range. And then she's going to keep grappling like the back row. So I do think there could be some sort of synergy there for free-to-players looking to make some synergies and stuff like that. But the big thing of note with Nara is, once again, that due to the way her grapple always goes the enemy that closely mirrors her position, instead of grabbing at the melee tank, she's probably always going to be grappling at the ranged units, so you can pick off ranged unit after ranged unit after ranged unit. Now, I just used Odie as an example because that's like a principle we use in like free-to-play arena, but I think that is a pretty cool system, and I think that's one of the most key features of her kit, is the fact that she's going to continually grab those enemies that really don't want to be grabbed into melee range, and that is a cool thing. Now, let's move on to Sinbad and take a look at the way he works. Now, I'm going to jump over into bossing quickly. I did a tiny couple little tests today. But the thing I want to note in bossing is that Sinbad is actually displayed pretty poorly on PC client. Let me just show you guys this one. So, if we... Dude, I boxed her in. Okay. So if you look at it, you can see the boss has the green one, which is the defender. I forget his two debuff names, but you can't actually see it on this PC client. But if you look above that, the red symbol is actually on the boss's head as well. It's just you can only see it on phone. You can kind of see the bottom of it, and when the screen shakes, you can see it. But he does apply both of his effects to the boss. Now, I did a little bit of testing with him using the same team, using Rainier versus him. Now, Rainier was giving me more damage, but I do think it was because when I used the Rainier, my Taylene was actually the one getting snowed a couple times, as opposed to when it's Sinbad, it's always the Lily May. So it changed the Lily May damage output. But you know, he does have that amplification type factor. He does add a decent bit of damage, as you can tell from this one. Dude, my face cam froze again. Every video, my face cam is absolutely just balls up freezing on me. So you can see that he actually does do some solid damage in this sense. Once again, we are in the endless preseason. We're not into the season, but you can get an idea that he does have some sort of output. It's not crazy. Like, I don't think he's like a solo DPS. It's not going to be, when I say it's not crazy, my brain got jumbled because I was thinking about my camera. It's not going to be crazy at low dupes, obviously, but whether his amplification is enough. But if we go here into our logs, you can see this one with Rainier. We've done like the 57 versus the 60. With the Rainier, we're getting way more damage out of our Lily May, as opposed to what we're getting on these ones here, where we're not getting as much out of our Lily May. But once again, I'm definitely keen to test this guy from a free-to-play perspective. And if we have the fact that we do get those swaps, maybe he's one that I could look to. But it just depends how he's going to piece into teams. I do want to test him when he comes out at low copies as well. But I do think that is a very important thing to note, that he does put both his debuffs on the boss. But just note, if you're on PC client and you look at it, unless they can fix that visual bug, on some bosses you won't actually see it. Because if you go over here into, if we just chuck him into a stage here, let's just chuck him in here. Where is he? There he is. You'll see he stands back. He assesses. You can see there's the defender one. And where's the off? Dude, where's the red one? There. Dude, it was so slow for me to see it. But yes, he does apply them both. On a phone, he does apply them both to the boss, but just not there. So he's one I'm definitely keen to, for free-to-play testing aspect. I don't think he's going to compete in the whale meta. Maybe on one or two bosses. But I'm definitely going to keep testing him to find out. But that is everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to cover. I got a couple other videos planned, and then it's going to basically be here on the test server, and then I'm going to be grinding out my test server account straight into the season. So I'll update you guys on that one, because with this this server, we can only do the first map. So we can't even see anything on the next maps. So I'm definitely curious to see how big the map is and how much entertainment we get out of it, because I think one of the biggest criticisms of the last season was it was a bit too short on the map exploration. So I hope they can keep us entertained. But anyway, guys, I'm going to shut up now. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.